Hey, it's Chris Lopez from KettlebellWorkouts.com, and I'm going to take you through one of, for me, what was the most difficult kettlebell lifts or grinds for me to really overcome and to really start to break some records in, and that's the military press. So just an overhead kettlebell press. Now, for a few aha moments for me that occurred when I was trying to help increase my military press and really get stronger in it was to be able to understand that it's a full body exercise. So, unlike dumbbell shoulder presses in a bodybuilding sense or seated shoulder presses, where you're thinking the prime movers are primarily your delts, with the kettlebell military press, it's really all about making sure that your entire body is tense and using as much of the energy as you can rooted into the ground and straight up through the top of your head to drive into that bell and push that bell straight up. So, for example, before my RKC training, I was comfortably pressing a 24K over my head, but was really having a lot of trouble with getting that 32 over my head. Maybe 1 or 2 reps and really struggling at that. Well, after being trained properly and understanding the relationship of my entire body and how that translates into getting that bell up overhead, I was really able to press that 32 over my head nice and easily. So I'll share with you some of the few tricks that I learned as far as pressing a kettlebell overhead. So I've got a light kettlebell here. It's a 16K kettlebell. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clean it up and then get it into the rack position. So the first thing that you want to do in that rack position is really root yourself into the ground. So I'm going to make sure that my feet are planted right into the deck and I've got a good grip with my toes and my heels. From here, we're going to go up the chain. So I'm going to squeeze my quads. I'm going to pull my kneecaps up into my quads, really contracting my quads and making sure that they're nice and tight. Then I'm going to squeeze my glutes, and by doing that, I'm making sure that my lower back is nice and safe. So there's no wavering in my hips while I'm trying to get that bell up. After that, moving into the abs, bracing the abs nice and tight, I'm going to pull my shoulders down and back and really try to force myself to get into the ground and get into a nice, strong spot. Now, from there, I'm gripping the kettlebell with a neutral grip, but I'm squeezing the handle as much as I can. And for now, what is probably the most important part, I'm understanding that my lats, so my armpit muscles, the muscles right there in the back of your armpit, play a huge role in pressing that bell over your head. So I really want to think about firing my lats. I'm going to power breathe, so I'm going to take a deep breath in and really create that tension in my body, keeping that breath in, and then slowly squeezing that handle of the bell and thinking about firing the lats. I'm going to push that bell up overhead, seeping air out of my body as I'm doing that. Holding your breath, keeping that tension in there, I'm going to take a little bit of air in and then slowly seep the air out as I think about pulling the bell down with my lat on the right side. So pressing that bell overhead, there's a couple of points that I really want to emphasize. In addition to all the tightness that you're going to get in your quads and in your glutes and in your stomach or in your abdomen, pushing a bell up with your lats. So don't think so much shoulder press up with the bell, think about really firing the lats and try to get that biofeedback. So if you need to, get a partner to kind of poke your lats as you're trying to get that bell up, or even yourself, give yourself a bit of a self-massage in the lats, trying to mentally tell your mind that these are the muscles that I really want to be working. And then the second thing is the power breathing part, really forcing inner abdominal pressure by taking that breath in and then slowly letting it out, but never really letting go of the tension in the abs. So those are just a few tricks on how to get your kettlebell military press more successful so that you can push more weight up over your head.